with 2 recorded as present. 2/3 voting in the affirmative, the resolution is adopted.
The Republican is just the 3rd member of Congress to be expelled since the Civil War. Garrett Hake reports where the Republicans will go after the vote to expel Santos.
Even those who are worried about the precedent will probably be happy to see Santos gone. That said, they do still need his vote. I mean, the margins in the House are incredibly slim. They're going to get slimmer. We expect 1 member at least to retire and go home before the end of this year. If more members decide to retire on the Republican side, their majority is in jeopardy.
Retired United States Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor has died at the age of 93. Michael Kastner has more.
O'Connor became the first woman to serve on the High Court when she was appointed by President Ronald Reagan in 1981. She retired from the Supreme Court in 2006 to care for her husband.
My beloved husband, John, suffers from Alzheimer's. He's had it for a long time now, and he's not in very good shape.
John O'Connor died in 2009 at the age of 79. The Supreme Court said Justice O'Connor's cause of death was related to complications from advanced dementia. I'm Michael Kastner.
The truce is over between Israel and Hamas. The Israeli military announced today that it has resumed combat in the Gaza Strip, claiming Hamas violated the truce and fired a rocket toward Israeli territory. Israeli airstrikes have been reported in Gaza City, and drones have been reported over southern Gaza. Today is World AIDS Day. In 1988, the first World AIDS Day was recognized in a number of countries around the world. Sponsored by the World Health Organization, the day inspired messages from then-President Reagan, Pope John Paul II, and the Secretary General of the United Nations, who all called for stepped-up efforts against the disease. You're listening to the latest on NBC News Radio.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more.
800-451-9716. 800-451-9716. 800-451-9716. That's 800-451-9716.
The Village Mud wants to remind pet owners of the importance of spaying and neutering. Shelters overflow with unwanted pets. Spaying and neutering helps prevent this and has many health benefits too. That message courtesy of the Village Mud at 6665 East Foothill Boulevard in Claremont. For self-serve pet wash tubs and high-end food and treats for dogs and cats, featuring natural and raw. Call the Village Mud 909-624-3020 and like them on Facebook.
Lord of the Rims and Tire Shop in San Bernardino says it's hard being away from home during the holidays, but even harder if you're a soldier overseas securing our freedom. Send letters and packages and say prayers for our troops overseas. Remember, they're fighting for our freedom. That's Lord of the Rims and Tire Shop at 115 East Baseline Street in San Bernardino, serving the community with great customer service and low prices. Call 909-888-9775. That's 909-888-9775. Lord of the Rims and Tire Shop is on the air because they care.
It's that time of year again. No, not the holidays. Medicare open enrollment. And if you have questions about Medicare, you should talk to the local experts. Paul Berich and Associates. Paul and his agents are certified with plans that are accepted by most of the medical groups in our area. Call 909-793-0385. Their service is free, and after 42 years in the business, their agents are trained to help you pick the plan that's right for you.
Miss your favorite show? Download the podcast at kcaaradio.com.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone. Are you lonely? No.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be
But
the
I
answer.
surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. But I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so
Okay,
I can come
okay,
over.
come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living.
With Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome, you're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using a gift balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Audible, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Well, maybe on Fridays. No K words, no Kanye talk at all. Formerly, however he's known, because we want you to focus on your own reality shows. So if you've missed any of my past 1,072 podcast shows here on my 604th consecutive week, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, which yesterday was at 1,999 subscribers. So today we'll see if we cross that. If not, we know we're going to cross it tonight. I am going to be on the co-president of my Cashew Gallery's president or fan supporting streaming people, and his name is Troy Bocelli. Last Call with Troy Bocelli tonight on his YouTube channel. And my beautiful co-host who is here, she made it into the studio, and one of her 4 puppies
who got shaved. He shaved this morning, so he's scared. So he jumped in my lap. He's scared.
Well, his puppy eyes are definitely saying, "What did you do to my hair?"
I know. He was mad at but he's like shivering, and he never ever wants. He's the grumpy one who likes to bite ankles, and he's actually being the baby right now.
Please welcome to my studio my beautiful Inside and Out Friday co-host, Alon Carter, for Tempting Conversations with Dr. Marissa and
Elon Carter and Ali.
And Ollie. Sorry, I cut off this thing. Oh, you ready for that?
Yes.
Ready for your coffee?
Coffee, mine's full. Toast. Morning coffee.
Yay. Right into breakfast with Dr. Marissa and Alon Carter. We're going to start with 8 specific things that we're grateful for at the top of our bun. And then on the bottom of the bun, what we like about ourselves. So let's give it a start. Alon, you want to start?
Yes. I am grateful for my mother's high spirits and positivity of love and blessings for many around.
Yay. I am grateful for being able to broadcast live from my living room and adjust the lighting as we are.
Well, I'm grateful to see you this morning and have my coffee and be able to run in here at the last second. Well, I always have an episode right before camera. I had a doggy episode.
Well, I wasn't going to tell you this, but I literally made it in 20 seconds before you. So I am grateful for Frank this morning, who took care of getting us on live, even though we're moving at, my excuse is I do this every single day, and by Friday morning,
you're zombed.
But I'm so grateful that we have a show as an excuse to connect with each other once a week. I am definitely grateful for that. And I'm grateful.
I'm grateful for that too.
I'm grateful for your son who put us together. And for those
Yes.
who don't know, Trace is an amazing musician. He writes songs, he performs, he's learning how to play all kinds of instruments. He dances like very well, and he's a respectful teenager. Well, he may not be a teenager. Is he still a teenager?
He's still a teenager. 6
Okay.
more months.
6 more months.
Not even 6 months. In April, he'll be 20. I'll have a 20-year-old. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Just
I
rolling
know.
that off of my tongue.
Yeah. Well,
He's actually teaching himself how to play guitar now.
I'm not surprised. He did not fall far from his grandfather's musical tree, that being Otis Williams, the founder, still performing at 81.
82 now.
82. Otis Williams of the Temptations. And so that is why this particular series, which is super fun because we're tempted to talk about, you just never know what we're tempted to talk about. And I put on one of Alon's favorite clips yesterday as the promo.
I was telling someone that story just a couple of days ago in a restaurant. And I was saying how it made me laugh so hard. And the guy knew what it was. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know a Dickie Doo." I was
I'm so glad that I got to define that for you. That clip is one of my favorite clips because it's like the first time you heard it and
I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah. I'm grateful for our cashew gallery. We've got Troy Pacelli, who is streaming in from Chicago, Illinois. We've got Maria, who we're doing a double. And it's funny because I'm going to be, Alana and I were talking about this yesterday. Did you guys do this on purpose? Like, I'm on Troy's show, Alon's on Maria's show. You're on the gallery now. Oh, it's just like so fun.
What did she say? I don't have my glasses and I'm on my phone today.
Troy saying good morning, Maria. Happy Friday. Looking forward to seeing you and Alon tonight and Dr. Marissa later. Oh, so we're not on the same time. Oh, maybe I can like show bomb you guys too. And you can show bomb we do. Okay, so where are we here? And good morning to your Ollie Pupper. And let's see. What did I tell you? I've got the 2000? Are you sure? I didn't check this morning. Let's see. You got your 2000? Okay, I guess you guys check. Yay! Wait, let me give myself some love here. 2000.
Ollie got a haircut, and he's not happy with me because he has no hair. He's a lopsa, so he's had so much hair to everyone who's never seen him, and he's bald, and he's so like, what is going on?
Right. All right. Grateful for the opportunity to hang out. Troy's he always makes you really focus on the letters because there's one letter off. Hanging out with such wonderful women today, Dr. Marissa Longcutter and Maria with Team Show.
I don't know why the song's in my head now this morning.
Yeah. Let's see. What is it? Maria's grateful for heat in this cold weather. She is in Colorado streaming.
Oh, yes. It's so cold. And we're fussing about 60 degrees.
Yeah.
Literally. We're whining like babies.
Okay. Dr. will be on my show too when PJ and I can finally coordinate a date. That's right. And I know how he feels having no hair.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That's Troy.
That is funny.
All right, let's go to the bottom of the bun. Bottom of the bun is a little different. I define gratitude outside of yourself. Appreciation is inside of yourself. And why do I ask you to do that? Because I want you to work your muscle of self-care, self-love, self-approval, which I believe are the foundation of good mental health. And too quickly, a lot of us turn to food, shopping, gambling, the opposite sex, the same sex, sex, to soothe ourselves, which is a temporary high, drugs, prescription or non, legal or non, and they have a lot of side effects, lots of consequences. So if you go to bed every night thinking about how, what you do like about yourself, it's a much safer way of not losing yourself during the day. So that's why we do appreciation. I'm going to start with a different one. I was doing laps this morning, and I thought, you know what? I've never used this as something that I appreciate about myself, which is I am conscientious. How's that for? How's that for? So on the day that I'm late on the show, but I am conscientious. What do you like about yourself, Alon?
I am confident enough to not care what others think about me.
Super good. I am quick to laugh. I love that about myself.
I love that I am a fun person. People don't know about me.
I appreciate that I can be equally goofy as Alon.
You know why that's so funny? Because my sister tells me I'm really corny. She doesn't hang out with me at all. I have a younger sister in New York. And she goes, yeah, it's not because you're older and married with kids. It's just because you're so corny. So I like that I'm corny. Yeah. I like that about myself. I am a little bit corny. It's okay.
It's all right.
I love my corniness. That's what makes me goofy.
And there's nothing wrong with that at all. It might be a little difficult for Trace and London and Chloe and Sarah at times.
Yes.
I remember when my kids were young, I was the house that all their friends would come and hang out, and they still, I love it, call me Dr. Mom. But the very first time they would meet me, my daughters would pull them aside and say, this is my mom. She's a little bit goofy. She's a little bit silly, but she's cool. So that was the introduction that they would give me, which is kind of funny. All right. Let's see if we have any other appreciations in the chat. Yes, Troy. I appreciate my ability to rock a bald head, and that is
Ollie, too. Look, Ollie got a bald head today.
That's right. That's right. You've got an empathetic friend this morning. Let's see. Here we are. Maria, I am sharp cheddar cheese. She appreciates that she's super cheesy. That's cute. And I love sharp cheddar cheese. I forgot to wish someone a birthday this week. My bonus dad turned 94.
Wow. And he's had some challenges, so good for him. He's doing he looks great.
He's back driving, which is great. That was really difficult. He did take a special license test, just in case you guys are worried that live in Southern California. He's a great driver. He's a better driver than I am. So here we go. Happy birthday, dear Graham Marty Bonus Dad. I love you so much. Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
Happy birthday, Graham Marty. Nanogenarian 94 and still rocking it. God, I love him so much. Especially my Chinese dad lost his battle with lymphoma, and he left at 70. So for the past 15 years, Graham has been my bonus dad and someone that I can, fall back into when I need to. And every single day I check in with him and I say, good morning, beloved backup dad, who's also my grilled cheese maker. He makes a mean grilled cheese. A ham maker, article co-writer. He's written articles on Medium with me about idioms. He wrote a song, the lyrics to I Love You, Siri, that's on YouTube. My TV channel, you have to listen to it. It's pretty funny. And he's just such, he plays the ukulele. He won the Voice at Sea on the boat. I just love him so much. So I wanted to make sure I use this platform to wish him a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yay. Hopefully you'll meet him one day.
Yes.
When you come down. Yeah. All right. One last appreciation for Alon. What do you like about yourself?
That I'm such an animal lover. I love animals, as you can see, because this is just one of 3 other dogs. I have 4 in total and a cat. Like Maria, we both have a Maine Coon.
What?
It's called a Maine Coon. It's one of the largest cat, domesticated cat breeds. And so I've never had a cat. So she's taught me a lot about the breed and the cat and their disposition. And I'm totally enjoying my pretty kitty cat who acts like a dog. I love it. He's very doggy-like.
I thought it was a new name for a
Maine Coon. I don't know. You have to ask Maria because she has more knowledge of it than I do.
We'll wait till I go on her show to ask her about that. I'm sure she'll bring. Well, she had the cat on.
Yeah, she has the same. She has the same type of cat. It's called Maine Coon. Yeah, she has the same one, same kind.
Oh, awesome! And that is it, folks, for breakfast with Dr. Marissa and
Elon Carter.
Here on Take My Advice. I'm not using a Get Balance with Dr. Marissa. The morning show, NBC News Radio, on the Asian Oprah, and the station that leaves no listener behind. This is Tempting Conversations with Dr. Marissa and
Elon Carter.
Thanks for joining us. And I promise you that if you do take a bite of my gratitude sandwich every morning for the next 28 days, you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. All right, the topic. What are we talking about today? Yes. Hold on. She's going somewhere. All right. What are we tempted to talk about today? The best thing about Fridays is we're not limited by topics, because it is basically whatever we are tempted to talk about. And I also catch up a lot on the interesting things that have been talked about. And I have to say, you're going to have to come on Straight Talk. I have a new co-host on Thursdays. And Troy can attest to the fact that he's super cute. He's single. And actually, I think you've met him before because his agent is the same.
I know who he is.
Grayson.
Yeah. He's a very handsome guy, very nice guy.
And
I've met him
very nice
many
guy.
times.
And you know what he taught me yesterday?
What?
What a thruple was.
What was?
A thruple.
What the heck is that?
Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's in the dark about a thruple. And I can't even believe they even have like an app now. Like, Bumble, they have a thruple app for people who are looking for relationships with 3 people. I'm going to make a boomerang with that look on your reaction a lot.
What did you call it? This is out of control. I'm sorry. I'm not an old fogey. I did Playboy, so I'm very open, but I'm not that open. Like, it's just like anything goes now with this younger generation. I just can't get down like that because they just don't care. It's a try all. Just have an app called Try Everything. Forget all these other names because I can't even pronounce it. Let's have a Try Everything app. And whatever you want to try, get on the app. Let's start an app called Try Everything.
A try app.
We can own it, right? We can own it, and we can.
That's not a bad idea.
But I'm not participating in the Try Everything app.
Yeah.
I'm gonna participate and give the opportunities for everyone. I had a great aunt that I found out that was very beautiful. Like the women, my mom's side of the family, really pretty women, and she had a really famous brothel in Alabama and Mobile. And I remember as a little girl going to visit her, and I always thought like my great grandmother's sister was so pretty. But my grandmother would never let me go visit her because she had this gorgeous house. And then I found the history of the house, that she had so many pretty sisters that she would put her sisters and then try to get all their pretty young daughters in this situation. And I mean, she died like 30 years ago. I mean, I'm old enough to remember who she was.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. And so she had this beautiful home and all this amazing stuff. And then as I got older, before my great grandmother died, she's like, yeah, she had that gorgeous house. Cause I remember visiting her and she goes, yeah, that guy bought it for her. And a couple other family secrets. I was like, oh, wow.
Wow.
So
now,
I guess I could be the owner of something like that, right? I'm not doing it though.
I don't know. Maybe we can talk about that new business opportunity.
try everything.
Well-
It's like Fantasy Island. Remember Fantasy Island? We'll have like a Fantasy Island trial. Whatever
All right.
your fantasy is.
This is you're gonna hear it here first. I'm gonna trademark this by putting this in the chat because you hear me
Try
say
everything?
this. Try everything once. So it's a teal.
But don't put once because
It's
then
a
you want
teal.
repeat customers. You want repeat customers on this new venture.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. But I just like the way teal sounds.
My mom's walking in, she's laughing. I'm telling her about
Yeah.
the family
Well,
secret.
hey, Mom, Goldie.
my mom remembers. My mom goes, yeah, Aunt Grace. She knows.
Wait a minute. Whose aunt was it?
My mom's great aunt.
Oh,
It was my grandmother's sister, my great grandmother's sister.
Well, Goldie, your daughter just.
She just walked out the room.
Oh, she did. Okay.
Yeah, so my grandma, I have been so blessed to. I have a couple more pies today. I literally have been baking every day on my Etsy shop. And I have lots of stuff on there, but everyone likes my grandmother's sweet potato pie, which is my great grandmother's sweet potato recipe, right? It's her sister. Who had this beautiful house.
She did the bacon in the kitchen, and her
My-
sister did the
right.
bacon in the bedroom.
Well, so my grandmother said I went the wrong way. She always said that. She goes, she married well. She had this great house, and I was the housewife with 3 husbands. I should have done what she did. I should have gone into her business.
Wow, that's
she had 3 husbands, and they all died. So I think my grandmother was frustrated. I don't know what she did to those husbands.
Wow. Do you have a picture of her?
Of my great grandmother?
Yeah.
You mean of my grandmother's sister?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I have to look it up. She's really pretty.
I wonder.
Oh, I definitely have a picture of her.
Well, it definitely runs in the family. That all of y'all look beautiful. I'm wondering if that brothel is on the internet. Was there a name for it?
I don't know. I have to have my mother research. She had this amazing house. We're talking probably in the early 20s and 30s. It has to be because she's my great grandmother's sister.
1920 brothel.
It was in Mobile, Alabama.
In Mobile, Alabama.
And they were Creole. So if you know anything about Creole, they're heavily mixed Black people, even though a lot of times they don't say that. So they kind of could look like whatever. Beyonce's mother's Creole. On the they look like that. So they all look like they were on that. That's how they look. They all had that kind of look like Beyonce's mom.
So we've got Alabama's most famous madams and brothels.
Oh,
yeah.
Dr. Marissa's looking it up, Goldie.
Yeah, let's see.
Came back.
That is not attractive, so it can't be yours.
I can't even see that. Let me put my glasses on.
Let's see.
No, she's a very fair-skinned lady.
She's fair-skinned, but interesting. I just think it's like super. Fallen Doves. Since this area of Mobile was well known, these women were most likely prostitutes. Interesting. Wow. Well, I don't
think she was the prostitute. I think she was just the
She was just a man.
Right, because this guy married her.
Right.
So she married. I don't know if he was French or Italian. She married this Italian white guy who fell in love with her. I don't know if that's how they met, but I know that he bought her this really pretty house. And she died in like mid-90s.
Her name's not Molly Teal, is it?
No, it's Grace.
Grace. Okay. No Graces yet.
I'll find a picture of her. She's much prettier than that.
Yeah, I figured. So, no, she's not in the headlines. So
she had a secret thing going on.
That's a good thing. But it's interesting how, it came up. Mobile, Alabama was kind of known for it.
Well, I didn't know that. And when I started modeling, like in the early 90s, I didn't even know, even up in age, she was still running things because she was my great-grandmother's baby sister. And they were like, oh, no, you can't go visit her. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, oh, no, she still was running stuff up until the 90s, which is so crazy. They're like, no, you can't.
That's so interesting. Who would have known? Well, my closest thing to that is because one, psychology is not, just up till recently, I would say in the last 20 years, psychology was not a respectable or recognized field for many Chinese. Like the government, the government didn't even recognize it until like 30 farmers jumped to their death at the same time. Did they recognize that mental health was even important? Isn't that crazy? And so that's nuts. And then because I'm an Asian woman, I know you thought I was Swedish, we're not supposed to be on stage speaking. So me being a motivational speaker was kind of like me being a stripper. So,
but even if you're not in Asia, if you're here, it's still looked at like that culturally because you're here?
Yes. Because I'm not supposed to be loud or talking or in front, everything that I do. So my cousin actually forbade his daughter from talking to me because she was interested in going into psychology, and so she was not allowed to talk to me. True story.
I just wonder, like, if you are like second generational here, right? Culturally, any culture, and you come and you have different beliefs than American people. Just like, if we go to, I love Dubai, right? There's certain things you can't do in Dubai. As an American person, they're like, hey, respect our culture when you're here. I know you guys are totally open, do other things, but here you can't do that. It's the same thing when people move here. For me, some of the beliefs in the systems, I'm all about having your culture and being here and not getting rid of that. But at the same time, I think that when people move here, because it's a land of opportunities, they seem to, even when it becomes second or third generation, they don't want to assimilate into the American culture with their kids. And they don't want to be as open, which I think is, me personally think is wrong. Because as an American person, we are ostracized if we go to somebody else's culture, and we don't abide by the same rules, right? Like stupid Americans, you are just ignorant, this and that. But when people come here, they think, well, I don't have to do that because in America, you could do whatever you want. And I don't agree with that. I think that if your kids are assimilating in this culture, I'm not saying to ever get rid of your whatever your background is. I think you teach your children that. But you also let your kids have their life. And I think people move here for the very reason that they want to have a better life in America because it's more open than it is in a lot of countries, right? Saying that, then you can't come here and be just as strict for the same rules you left from.
Yeah, it's a tricky,
right?
Yeah, it's a tricky.
I live with a Japanese guy, and I remember his mom, and I remember his mother having a conversation. Of course, it was like she was really angry he was with me because I was Black. That was her issue, right?
Yes.
And I remember having a conversation, and I said, listen, you were in concentration camps. You came to America. You were treated like that. I come from a mixed race background. If I was a white girl, you wouldn't have a problem with it. But you have a problem with me because of my color. But you're in this country, and you are calling me all kinds of names. And we're living together. She had never met me before. And she actually saw me on a camera because we would go visit where he's from, San Francisco, and we would go visit his sister, and we owned the building. And so she actually thought, because his camera was black and white at that time, she actually thought it was Filipino. And I guess from on the camera, you could think I'm Filipino, right?
Yeah.
So she was even more angry. And I was like, no, I'm not Filipino.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I told her you're gonna be more mad. I told her you're gonna be more mad. I'm not Filipino. I'm Black. Yeah. Now I know you're mad.
Yeah. People. I tell people all the time, Chinese and Japanese are two of the most prejudiced races that I grew up with because it's not, just white people or Caucasian people who can be racist.
They're really bad.
Yeah, like I was. I'll never forget when I first moved to California, and people thought I was Filipina, and still do.
Yeah, you can easily look Filipino because my sister's not Filipino.
Well, because I have a dash of Mongolian, so I have the higher cheekbones, right, and the bigger nose.
Yes, because my sister has the same nose.
And darker, right, and darker.
And you have a little bit of color.
Yeah. So and I told my mom on the phone, my Chinese mom, and she went ballistic because that was an insult. You know, because the darker color you are,
yeah, of course,
the lower class you are.
But the thing is, even living in this country, so you know, one of the things that, and the guy that I was with before my husband, now he was half Japanese and half white, but his mother adopted him, so he was Japanese race, right? And I was like, I've dated everything. Like I've had lots of white boyfriends, and I've gone home to their families, and they've probably never even dated an ethnic girl, and I not ever had that problem in America with my white Caucasian boyfriends. So I was like, so if you immigrate here and you have a problem with me and your family has a problem with me, when American people don't have a problem with me, culturally we kind of mix together, then I'm not tolerating that from you and your family. That's like kind of a deal breaker, because I didn't have that issue from my white boyfriends. I mean, matter of fact, I don't think their parents even, I remember walking in the door and I was like, oh, let's see how that's gonna, they're like, hi. They didn't even care. They were like, whatever.
Yeah.
As long as you don't bring a mud. I think it was more like, long as you don't bring a mud duck home. If I was a mud duck, they might have been mad.
What's a mud duck?
It's like a dicky do. You know, unattractive, funny looking. I wouldn't. It depends on what you call unattractive. My dad, Otis, calls them mud ducks. Don't bring a mud duck home.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I guess if a duck sticks his head in mud, right? It wouldn't be attractive. So he's like, don't bring a mud duck.
Did he make that up, or is that a term?
He always makes the words up. It's called Otisisms.
Okay.
He's always got some crazy term. He makes things up. But anyway, my whole point was, yes, you're correct. The racism is really bad culturally. In Asian culture.
Actually, they Urban Dictionary. They may have adopted his word.
Really? Oh, maybe he got it out of there.
I was surprised. Look at this. I just love my ability to learn through Google. Look at this. Mud duck.
I can't see. Let me put my glasses on.
Okay. I'm reading it. Adjective to describe an ugly female.
Mud. See?
Yeah.
I wasn't a mud duck.
Yeah, mud is for the makeup take on, and duck because she's no swan. Oops.
So Otis didn't create that word. It was in the dictionary.
Oh boy.
I have to tell him.
I didn't read the next line out loud. $22,000. I'm glad you can't see it to read it too. Anyways, if you've just tuned in,
we're just being silly.
I'm not using a gift balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and my YouTube TV channel, where if you free subscribe, you'll get an alert every weekday morning, because this is a show about hope and happiness. And you'll also get a free views of the playlists that are plenty. Not only is there tempting conversations, there is also my red carpet playlist where the interviews with John Travolta, Halle Berry, and such. And look at this, 2,001 subscribers, folks, not just 2,000, and 302,867 views. I know I usually say I don't look at numbers, but y'all have made me conscious about the number of subscribers. So we did hit it. Troy called it. He said by Friday we'll definitely hit 2,000. But Troy, just saying, before your show I hit 2001, and after your show tonight we're going to celebrate that. So I am grateful. I am super grateful that I have, if you build it, they will come. Field of Dreams. I really believe that. I do get recognized now when I'm out in public as someone who is positive, and there's nothing better than that. If anybody can be known for anything, really. You can make a fool out of yourself, or show kitten, and or practical joke videos and all the negative things for being bad, but to be recognized for someone who is a light or brings hope and happiness or is positive. I can die now happy. So thank you so much for the support. Yay! And Alon, thank you for helping me reach those numbers. All of my co-hosts have been super wonderful. I'm so grateful that I got that idea in the middle of the night because I was exhausted trying to figure out, every single day. I went from a once a week show and offered the promotion to the morning show, and I said yes before I realized going from one show a week to 5 was a big jump.
Yes, it's a huge jump.
So
we have to be ready for it.
Anyways. Oh, Orville Nation's in the house. He's good to see these charming ladies. He is here from Portugal, streaming in from Portugal.
You're in Portugal?
Yeah.
Lucky.
He's in either New York or Portugal. Troy has been working on the social medias all week for you, Dr. Marissa. Yeah, I expect a bit of a bump tonight. Oh, that's so sweet. I didn't know that you were single-handedly trying to bump the numbers. Thank you so much. Shit, Troy Pacelli. And we'll do more of those kudos tonight on your show. What time is your show, Alon?
4 o'clock, my time.
Oh, this afternoon on Maria's show?
Uh-huh.
Oh. I think I might be able to tune in because my mahjong finishes at 4 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Are you going to be in Calabasas?
No, La Mirada.
Oh, where's that?
Yeah, La Mirada has Taiwan style, 16 tile. Where I usually play on Wednesdays is renovating the whole center. So someone told me about the La Mirada group. So I've been going out there for the last 3 weeks to play with some fun people there. So yeah, it's my reward. If I finish all my work all week, on Fridays, I get to go play mahjong.
Well, I'm going to start rewarding myself. I've been so busy. I need some sushi. I haven't had sushi in a while.
We're waiting for, you know what?
I saw the new place in Sea Butter, the hand roll place. I saw it by accident.
And
did you go? I didn't go there. I just saw it a couple of days ago. So I have to try it.
Okay. Well, they're telling me that I need to celebrate.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Need to celebrate. So we'll do that with sushi.
Want me to sing? I was singing Celebration.
Oh, you were? Celebrate good times. Come on.
Come on. You know I can't sing.
Yes, you
I can put my shoulders down.
That is wrong. Your dad is. Yeah. Yes, I do play mahjong. I love mahjong. I love any kind of game. Like
I used to play games. I really don't even have time. I used to love backgammon. I haven't played it in a while.
Really?
And I bought a backgammon set, and when we were in Hawaii during COVID, I actually taught my kids how to play it, and it was so much fun. I used to be really good at it. I think I beat London, but I think London beat me because she loves board games and she's so competitive. But backgammon, I have to bring that back out. She loves to play Monopoly, but she cheats all the time, so I can't get so mad at her. And she's like the banker, and we're like, you're always cheating. She goes, I'm not going to cheat this time. So then Trey starts cheating, and they all cheat. So I'm like, I don't have the patience for Monopoly.
Next time I come up, I'll bring Monopoly cards.
Okay, we have like 4 different Monopoly boards. We have so many.
No, this is a card. It's faster than the board because Monopoly takes forever, right?
Well, you got to try to get her to do it because the whole point is she likes to get the property. She likes to steal your property. Likes to take your money.
It's not property too. It's definitely like the same game except it's faster. Okay. Because, darling, I am a backgammon master.
Oh, and then we have the little bingo thing, where you have the cards. Because we used to do that all the time. We haven't done it a long time.
Let's schedule a game, holiday game day.
We have a ton of games, but, she's now 15. She goes in her room, closes the door, gets on her phone, wants nothing to do with me. And she now is
She's swimming so much. I'm so proud of her. She literally all week, it's been raining. We go pick her up. She is swimming in the rain and it's dark by the time we pick her up at 6 o'clock. And I'm so freaked out. And she's in the pool at 6 o'clock at night in the rain.
Haven't watched Naya? I just watched that. The true story of the woman that crossed from Cuba to Florida.
Crazy.
She's a marathon swimmer.
Yeah. I don't want to give her any ideas. London will do all kinds of challenges. It's better not. I don't want her to do it. I don't want her to see it. She goes, oh, I'll do that. I could do that better.
Oh my God.
No.
I'm serious. I have a gig at the Beverly Hilton on Saturday. Let's see if I go early, I'll come up to you. Maybe we'll do sushi lunch and a game of backgammon. I want to see who's gonna win. I'll put $1 on.
I'll make sure she doesn't have any plans.
Yeah, because that would be so fun. I love games. That's it.
She loves board games. I don't have the patience, but she loves board games. So yeah, for sure.
And then you are on. Your auntie Marissa is putting you on.
Oh, she'll love that.
Yeah. Did you tell her I was on the?
We have to put it. You know what? It's one of these Fridays when she doesn't have school. We have to put her on. Yeah, let's put her on. But trying to get her up in the morning. No, she gets up. We just have to get her to come on and she loves anything Marvel, all the sci-fi stuff. We have to get someone on who's really good at that. You know, even it may be her and Keith, and she will talk about that kind of stuff. She loves it. I just tune out.
I think our cashew gallery has a bunch of lovers of all that.
She would love that because she loves all the sci-fi. I'm totally clueless. She will describe it and argue about it.
Well, then that's it. Let's see.
I had one of those spiritual retreat readings. Trace had something he had wanted at a thing with this really famous guy, and I went to see him. And I asked the guy how the session went with Trace. He did the whole meditation and moved stuff around. This is years ago. And so he looks at me and he goes, yeah. He goes, you have alien DNA. I go, huh? And this guy's really famous. Like he has these books. I was like, I'm part alien. He said, yeah. I was kind of like, but we're finding out more and more about how we have come here, the creator. So maybe it might have some truth to it. But he said some stuff that was so on point. I mean, it was so accurate. I just sat there with my mouth open. And he told me I'm part alien, which makes sense why I'm a little weird. Who's that?
Who does it look like?
Is that you?
Yeah. I had my soul portrait drawn.
Really?
Yeah.
I love the sun around the light. That's beautiful. Who did it?
Her name is Catherine Skaggs, and she is an artist, and she has like little pocket cards. She has a beautiful book. It's in my car, otherwise I would show it to you. But she's like a spiritual medium artist. There's a special word for it. I'm gonna have to pull her up. But yeah, she's amazing. So she actually did it live in studio. And she drew the soul.
Yeah, can we have a guest on? I like that kind of stuff. I like mediums. I like spiritualists. I like people who read. I like that kind of stuff.
Okay. I'll ask her if she wants to come on. You want to have your portrait done?
Yeah. I actually had my you go to these events with Trace and they do your aura. And the first time, it's so weird. The first time I had it done, I had a lot of purples, and he was saying I had a lot of masculine energy, which totally made sense, right? And then Coachella a few months ago, we went to an event, and this guy that we saw was in Hollywood, right? When he gave me, I still have the picture. It was the same guy. The guy started reading me. The killing part was when he did it the first time, it was very dark. It was in a club, right? So I didn't really see what he looked like. And then the guy starts reading me. There's a ton of people at this event because it's Coachella. And he looks and goes, I just read you. And I go, oh my God, because it was just a couple minutes. Anyway, your energy changes because my light had turned to like greens and yellows and oranges. So my energy had changed within those couple months. And it was just interesting that I had just read the guy and he was so good. He's like, I just read you. And he remembered. And I was like, I don't know, all these like 1,000 people at this party. And I was happy that I was memorable. But it was very positive. The first time it was good, but it was like, you have a lot of masculine energy. And I'm like, I have a lot of dude in me.
Yeah, you know, Dr. John Gray.
I think like a dude. So I'm like, I have a lot of dude energy. My husband just walked in there. He's standing in the kitchen. He'll probably say, I have a lot of dude energy. He's shaking his head. He thinks I'm a dude.
You know, Dr. John Gray, the best-selling author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, he says that I lead with my testosterone.
Oh, he said you do?
That's another reason
why.
Well,
that's probably why we're so similar.
Yes, exactly. So she's the author of Artist, Shaman, Healer, Sage, and she's a shaman.
Oh, she's a shaman. We should have her on. And then we can have the peanut gallery on, and they can ask questions. We all can have a little participation reading our little group. Yeah, with everyone. I think everyone would like that.
Yeah, Troy was on when she did the drawing. I don't know if Maria.
Oh, really? And then Maria, Troy, come on, all of you guys, we can do that.
Yeah, it was kind of very cool. Oh wait, Orville was there.
Orville, you were there too.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Portrait. We will have to have her on one of our big sci-fi debates. I think you're talking about London on that one.
Ah.
So yeah.
Yeah, London would love that.
Yeah,
and she's so knowledgeable. It's amazing. I don't know what she's talking about. I'm like, she's from another world. I don't know what she came in from another world.
Well, you do have a haunted house, so.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. When she was an infant baby, I told you this story. So my mother screamed to the top of her lungs, and she happened to be in the bed with my mom. She had to be about 4 months old, and literally, my feet didn't touch the ground. We floated in there. And my mother is just still screaming. The baby's fine. My mother said there was something that was spiritual, that was solid. Because we were raised Catholic. She said it wasn't even a ghost. It was solid. It had this cloak on, and it was leaning over my mother. And she said when she looked at it, it got scared and was scared that she saw it. And it went, woo! It took off.
Yeah.
And we got London, like checking on her to make sure she was okay. So, and when I had London, one of my friends that I grew up with, she said to me, there's something about her energy that's different. She's been here before, and she's very wise. Even in school as a kid, teachers, everyone has always said she's a very wise soul. So I believe that.
Yeah.
She's already in her 50s at 15, but she's been like that since 2. Yeah, she started speaking Mandarin at 2 years old. I have it on camera when the teacher is like, she had one of the best accents and she was picking it up so fast.
Yeah.
Of her singing. I have to show it to you. And they were like, out of all the kids, she was so good.
I spoke a little Mandarin with her last time we were together.
But I don't think she remembered because we have her in classes now, right? Right. I told her I wanted to send it to her teacher because she started it too.
So early. Yeah, my younger one is also like an old soul. He's an interesting, they're very, like she was elected the bully buster when she was 8 years old in the class, so conflict management, facilitation.
I think the new generation are the Starseed children. I do believe that they are coming back to do something to help our planet to make us greater. I think they are I think our children are reincarnated. I think there's a lot of reincarnated people, especially children right now during this time on the planet.
So Orville Nation is giving me another new term, star child, I guess. Have you heard of that, Alon?
Yes, that's what I said Starseed, but star child. That's what I believe she is.
Okay. I missed that.
Right. Trace is very intuitive and very psychic. London's very wise. Like she's definitely an old soul. Trace is very psychic. He was like that. He came out very psychic. And he would tell me he would see things in the house and would be right on point. And I wouldn't even say anything. He would go, that lady's standing there. My mother's house. We lived in London. We would come visit. And there was a ghost in my mother's house. A lady died in the house. I already knew that, right? Before I had Trace. And he used to sit there and go, don't you see she's talking to me? And the house was very, very protective when my mother and I lived together. And he used to tell me about the lady in the house, and I never told him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's other things that he predicted that was pretty on point. He, doesn't really tune into it now, but he still feels energies. Like if we meet people, that's why he was so drawn to you. When he meets people, he'll be like, something about him's not right. He's usually pretty on.
Yeah, I have that too, like that feeling. Yeah. And it's so wild because like in business deals as well, I'll just have this feeling, and then other people will like go forward, and I won't. And then like years later, they're like, how did you know? And I can't even articulate exactly
you can't explain it.
Off feeling, right? And
I could read people's energy. They could touch my hand. Like I always get into it with Keith because I will meet people that he's doing business with, and they touch my hand, and I'm right every time I go, don't do anything with them. I get a bad feeling. And he's like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. And every single time it turns out to be a nightmare. And I always say, how many times does this have to happen before you listen? I literally can feel people's energy. I could touch them. It's interesting, not to bring up what's going on in the news, but my mom was friends with, the guy that goes, take that, that's all in the news now. The big rapper mogul guy who's in a lot of trouble right now. My mother was friends with his mom. Anyway, so we were around them. And I remember being pregnant, and I remember meeting him, like formally meeting him in person. And this is years ago. And I go, I just don't like his energy. And my mom was really tight with his mother. And I remember him touching me, and I said, I don't like his energy. And people were like, what do you think of him? I was like, yeah, whenever they're around, we're around, but I try not to be around that particular person. I just like to be around his mother, but not necessarily him, because he has a weird energy to me. And I said this early on. So all this stuff is coming out because people didn't want to believe it. And there's some truth to that. If you walk into a room, I think it's your angels telling you. They're giving you the signs. Back off.
I think it's yourself. I think we all have that intuitive sense. Some of us just don't exercise it or believe it. A funny story, real quick. We're in the last 2 minutes, but I was in Vegas at a conference. There was a motivational speaker there, and it was really good. Everybody loved him. I just had this feeling. I just found out from someone else who is working with him, and he's a friend of mine, and said, do you know this speaker? And I'm like, why? And he goes, because I'm working with his team, and they want written into the contract that the stage has to be a specific degrees of temperature. His clothes have to be a specific degrees of temperature. Otherwise, he's not signing the contract. I mean, that is ridiculous. And he said his team is like afraid of him because he has tantrums, and this is a motivational, self-development person. Can you freaking believe it? This is the
grown man has temper tantrums. A grown man has temper tantrums.
Exactly. But I had that
a grown man with a temper tantrum.
I had that feeling.
That a grown toddler can't do it.
I know Frank's 1 minute.
No toddler boys. No toddler boys.
I just love that we do deliver, talking about anything and everything that we're tempted to talk about. This is Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show in our very special Friday series, Tempting Conversations with Dr. Marissa and
Elon Carter.
And we are in the last minute. I am so glad that our Cashew Gallery was here to once again have a fun time with us. Don't get me started, people in our field. Yes, I know. Boy, the topics have been around the world today. I love it. That's because we're tempted all the time. You know the drill, Alon. Do this with me because it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Thank you for joining us. Alon, you want to say now go and have
the best weekend ever.
Love you guys. See you on Monday.
KCAA Loma Linda. The Legacy KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM.